What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024, and on today's episode of Play by the Show, where I bring you the best gaming news in a tiny bite-sized form, we're talking about the cancellation of Crash 5, why that sucks, and why you and I directly contributed to this. But first, let's talk about how we figured out it got canceled. Host Bob employee Nicholas Cole talked about how the project they've been working on for the last 3 years was officially canceled, RIP Project Dragon. Daniel Barnes replied, "If this is Spyro, I'm going to be the most pissed off man who ever lived." And then Nicholas replied, "It is not Spyro, but someday folks will hear about the Crash 5 that never was, and it's going to break heart." There's a confirmation that Crash 5 got canceled. I really enjoyed Crash 4. It sold super good, in my opinion. I think Crash Insane Trilogy obviously sold incredibly well. Honestly, if you remember the early days, you've been with this channel since 2016, I talked a ton about Crash Insane Trilogy, and I was live streaming that game when I hit 1,000 subscribers for the first time. So it hits very, very hard to home when I hear about Crash news getting canceled. But we contributed to this, alright? So Crash on the Run, it came out, free-to-play mobile game. Didn't do so hot. They never attracted whales. But I mean, it's their own fault they didn't attract whales. They didn't make it really anything for you to want to buy. So that ends up getting scrapped. Then fast forward, we had Wompily get leaked like 2021, 2022, whenever it was. I didn't care about it. You didn't care about it. None of the YouTubers who talked about it cared about it. But it got views. And at this point in time, 2022, I mean, oh my god, dude, ad revenue was crazy. You get 1,000 views on a video, and it'd be like $7. That was like a crazy time for YouTubers, right? So we beat that into the ground. Internal testing on Wampa League showed that that game was not fun. They didn't like it, so they canceled it. And then we talked so much about Wampa League that they bring it back at Crash Team Rumble. They began development of a brand new project, which was Crash Team Rumble. That game comes out, nobody cares about it. I didn't care about it. You didn't care about it. He didn't care about it. That man certainly didn't care about it. That game flopped and was dead on arrival. And that's not an opinion. This is verifiable facts. The game didn't even sell 100,000 units. Did not even sell 100,000 units, so it never got a tweet saying, "We've accomplished XYZ units sold." Which is what every game studio does. When Crash hit 100,000, tweeted it out. 1,000,000 tweeted it out. 10 million tweeted it out. Every major milestone. Crash Team Rumble never even hit the first milestone. And for a AAA game with the money behind it that Activision put, that is just dreadful. They should have never made Crash Team Rumble. They should have never listened to the YouTubers who was lying to you about it just because it got views. I'm going to be honest with you because I'm a different person now than I was then. I didn't give a shit about it. I just talked about it because it got views. Now think about every single Crash Bandicoot YouTuber you've ever seen, every Spyro YouTuber you've ever seen. Not a single person actually cared about Crash Team Rumble. It just got views. Look at any live stream of anybody playing it. Nobody actually enjoyed it. But first, you have to find a live stream that is actually streaming it, because when this game came out, its peak viewer count was less than 500 viewers. Go to Twitch right now and look at how many people are watching Crash Team Rumble. I'm not going to say the number that I just saw because obviously I'm going to put whatever it is when I'm editing here, so it could be higher or it could be lower. There wasn't even 100 viewers of it when I checked right now before I started recording this goddamn video. But it gets worse than that. When Crash Team Rumble first came out, according to PlayStation statistics, Peppa Pig, a game about Peppa Pig, had more players than Crash Team Rumble did at its peak on day. And then throughout the last year and a half, 2 years of Team Rumble being out, it has slowly trickled down. Right now, it's averaging less than 1,500 players a day. Do you know how bad that is? I got on my Xbox 360 like a week and a half ago to play Call of Duty Black Ops. It still had 5,000 concurrent players. A nearly 15-year-old game had more players than Crash Team Rumble. The fact of the matter is, YouTubers making them pretend we wanted Crash Team Rumble, we lied in our videos. We were never excited for it. I'm going to admit that to you because I'm a different person today than I was back then. Obviously, when I made my YouTube comeback in October and you saw the different styles I make now, I'm not the YouTuber I was a couple years ago. I'm just not. I lied about being excited for Crash Team Rumble for views, and so did everybody else. But that was enough to convince Activision we wanted that game. They put millions, hundreds of millions of dollars behind this game, and it flopped. It flopped hardcore. So ultimately, that, in my opinion, is what led to the cancellation of Crash 5. Now, obviously, you will get Crash 5 at some point one day, but that day is going to be a long time away. But in conclusion, it's honestly heartbreaking to see and realize that money is the driving factor for these games. Obviously, we never want to Crash Team Rumble. If they had put money into Crash 5 instead of Team Rumble, I can promise you it would have sold at least 5 million units by now. But money is a driving factor of all things. Once they realized that we might have been excited about Team Rumble and they knew they could milk that game money-wise, microtransactions and all that, they were going to go for it, but ultimately no one cared about the game. And ultimately, YouTubers are why this game, is going to be dormant for the foreseeable future. It makes me quite sad. But what's your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die. We'll see you in the next video.